Hey, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? This is Ip of RageQuitTV, gonna be casting a game between DruidzLuddaz and Liquid TLO. It is a ZVZ on Ohana LE, and I don't know that much about DruidzLuddaz, but he is a European Zerg, so there is a very high chance that his name just hasn't got out there yet with Zerg players like Damaga, Stefano, Nurchio, Dark Force, TLO. It's just so hard to get your name out because Europe is known for their good Zerg players, while Korea is known for their good Terran players, and well, NA, we are known for ability to steal players from other continents, such as Stefano. Whenever he goes to a tournament, he represents the USA. We all know that, and he does not deny it. And then all the Koreans, they want to join American teams. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. We're not known for good players. We're known for good teams. Anyways, it is ZVZ on Ohana LE, so any opener is viable. TLO going to be going for an early extractor trick, and what I meant by any opener is viable, it is a 1v1 map, but the distance between bases is very long. As you do see, it's 130 and the overlords aren't really even close to that halfway mark, and combine that with the fact that there is just a ramp going up into your natural, it's not a wide open area, it is very easy to defend, much like Shakur's Plateau, so you can go for a hatch first. TLO going to be going for a pool first, while we do have Druids going to be going for a gas first. And he will be getting his spawning pool immediately, and TLO will be getting his gas relatively soon. He is not building any Johnsons. There we go. He didn't have any lava. And in the early game of ZVZ, it is all about lava management to defend. And in the late game ZVZ, then it all just comes about, well, mid-game ZVZ, it comes about drone chicken, and late game ZVZ, well, I haven't seen enough late game ZVZ to know what it's about, much like any other matchup I would assume. We do have the pool now finishing, and TLO still hasn't got any gas, so he is going to be going for a pool into an expansion, and I haven't really seen this build at all. And it may just be because Ohana LE is very easy to defend. And Druid's going to be going for that early speedling, and he is still mining gas after 100, so he is going to most likely be going for a Ling Bling opener, or maybe going to get some roaches out, but most likely Ling Bling from here on will be taking his expansion at 21, and then probably build a bunch of Lings and go attack TLO. TLO not going to get any gas, so this Ling Bling is going to be very hard for TLO to defend. I don't know if he can actually do it without taking a loss, just because non-speedlings just get demolished by banelings and speedlings. Well, they just get demolished by speedlings, and you add in the banelings, you can't even micro to defend yourself. It is just horrible, and TLO going to be taking out this overlord, but by doing so, he is going to be missing an inject on this hatch. As you do see, the inject is going to finish when that queen is about halfway. TLO is going to be trying to take out this overlord, but this is risky. He is risking an inject, as you see the queen already above 25 energy. And these Lings could possibly take out the queen, but TLO has built Lings behind this. So the overlord is going to go down. It is going to supply cap DruidzLuddaz early on in the game. And that is just obnoxious. I hate having to deal with that. TLO is going to do another inject, then just move his queen on down. And you can see that he did miss an inject by taking out that overlord. But he did take out 100 minerals of Druid's economy, and also supply capped him, so that is very good. But we do have the Baneling's Nest being built by Druid, so he may be going in for an all-in. And I don't know if TLO could actually hold an all-in. He needs to get some Spine Crawlers up as soon as possible. And with his queens at this ramp, if he gets another one and walls this with 3 queens, I think he will be able to hold any type of Ling Bling. The queen does vomit on this hatch, and she is going to be going on down. TLO going to finally be taking his first gas at 5 minutes and 43 seconds into the game, after Druids has already mined about 500 gas. TLO goes, yep, now's a good time to take some gas. And the queen force is going on down. TLO is going to have that on lockdown. It's going to be very hard for Druids to get in here, but TLO, is he going to still be able to inject well? Going to be missing out on 1 queen, so yes, he is missing a lot of injects by doing this defense, but he is just droning up behind this, and he didn't get this gas until really late, so he just had a mineral income, which means he could just build a lot of drones. So even though he's missing out on the injects, it is not that bad, and now TLO is going to be moving a queen up to inject and then come back down and then go up again. She probably should have dropped a tumor on her way to vomit, but she is going to be doing that on her way back. And Druids, he is getting his drone count still just up. 35 to 36, so TLO not really behind at all. 52 supply, 249, despite his injecting being much worse. You can see the two queens, they haven't missed a single inject. In TLO, we have looked, he's missed at least 2 injects, but it's still even on supply. TLO doing a great job at being what TLO is just unique. Druids, though, holding this one watchtower. Can see if TLO moves out. And TLO looks like he may be trying to wall this off with buildings. And on this map, this could actually be very good, because if you wall this area off, then you are safe to drone up and then take out these rocks when you are ready. Take your third base, and then you only have this area to defend. You don't have to worry about run-bys going into your natural, which then go into your main. It's just so hard to deal with when the map is so wide open. When you only have one area to focus on, it becomes much easier to defend. Did have a Ling come up from Druids. I think I heard the Queen. Yeah, the Ling did come up. Sees exactly what TLO is doing. TLO going to be taking his next base. That drone wants to take a third base. Lings are going to come out to try to deny it. And TLO, well, Druids knows he's going to be doing, even gets to see it. And now Druids going to be doing the same thing. So TLO may have seen Druids base going to this income production tab. We do see Druids did come out just after TLO. So Druids saw TLO taking a third base, and he was like, you know what? I can do the same thing. He is not going to be going in for an all-in, despite going for that early Baneling's Nest. We do see him getting his lair up and going for 1-1 upgrades. And TLO, what is he up to? Getting infestation, but his lair is already done. Looks like he doesn't have many roaches out. This one Overlord is going to be falling. TLO's queens are just vicious. At least this one queen is. This like the queen, I don't know what it's from, but it's just a vicious queen. Getting 3 kills early on. Going to the Lost tab, we do have quite a bit. TLO actually taking out this one hatch, denying that and getting the cancel off. Druids did not have really any defense yet. And TLO is just going to be going on back, so that is definitely very good. TLO has 3 roaches on the way out. Druids has plenty of roaches out here, so those 3 roaches, they are not going to have a good day. TLO just about done with his roach speed upgrade. Druids hasn't started his yet, I believe. Let's go and look at this. No, he hasn't. So TLO could easily just get away right now. He has complete map control, and this third base is up when Druids is trying to take it. Of course, TLO also has faster infestors. And roaches are attacking, looks like these rocks. TLO just trying to make sure his units are not idle at any time whatsoever. Has done damage to these rocks, but decided not to take it out. Just wants to leave this small opening in between the 2 bases. Meanwhile, these 3 roaches just going to poke around. Does see his opponent is at 1-1 while TLO is at just 1-0. So TLO knows his opponent does have the upgrade advantage. The Overlord is still just keeping an eye on this one hatch. Druids isn't sending a queen down like TLO did to take that out. And TLO just has so many queens. Maybe that's what we should call TLO. The Queening Zerg always builds 4 queens. In this game, even building 5 queens. And looks like a few roaches are going to be moving out. TLO does see that with his Lings, and the Lings do get taken out. That is not a loss really at all. Meanwhile, TLO trying to take out the creep tumors of Druids with just a handful of roaches and that Overseer. Definitely a very cute play coming out from TLO. And now TLO is even spreading his creep. And that's a little bit odd to see both players spreading the creep in ZVZ, because it gives both players advantage. It gives you the map vision, but it also gives your opponent the same speed bonus, which means they can get to your base even quicker than they should be able to. You can get to their base quick, but that means they can get to your base quick, and that is just generally what a lot of players don't like. What I like doing is putting all my Overlords on a hotkey like 0 that I never use, and spreading them out, having them completely across the map. And then when I want to, I push 0, generate the creep, all my units get the speed bonus. When I'm done with it, I stop the creep spread, it dissipates, and their units no longer get that speed bonus. So, I think that may be where ZVZ ends up going sometime in the long-term future. I just don't see what is bad about that, unless they go for Mutalisks and you don't see it coming and all your Overlords get sniped. That is not a good feeling at all. We do have TLO now going to be moving in. He does go on that creep where he will be faster, but Druids will be able to see all the infestors and these 2 queens that are moving out. TLO, even moving out with this queens, has a lot of transfuses, 8 transfuses between the 2 queens. In case he wanted to battle, that is like 8 extra roaches, because he can save their life 8 times. TLO going to be taking a double expand right now. Druids is coming out to scout. We still haven't had that much aggression in this game, which is very odd for ZVZ. TLO has come, denied the space once, and now TLO's Overlord finally goes down over there. But he knows he is ahead because he is taking that double expand, and Druids is not doing anything. And in this mid-game ZVZ, it all comes on down to game of drone chicken. Whoever has the better econ generally does win. And TLO, left on check, he will have a much better econ than Druids. And also, he will have much more lava, so even if his injects are bad, then it doesn't really hurt him all that much, just because he has those extra 2 hatches giving him lava. His 1 roach is going to meet an unfortunate series of events after he takes out the 1 drone. All of these roaches do come. He wasn't burrowed, but TLO going to be getting a lot of infested terrans over here, killing, looks like, about 10 drones, and now going to be targeting down those extractors, realizing he probably couldn't get the hatch and just wants some guaranteed loss, and that was only 1 infestor that did all of that. And just taking out this extractor will slow down the upgrades or hive or just the unit count, since Druids is near maxed out. Taking out the extractor most likely will stop his teching route. He'll get that hive up just, well, the hive tech up just a little bit later, because he just won't have the gas that TLO has. TLO getting even more gas. Going to be going up on gases number 7 and 8, while Druids is just at 5 gases right now, so TLO is going to have so much more gas. He got his gas a lot later in this game, but now his gas is just going to be going through the roof. Will be able to do anything he wants. He is at 2-2 upgrades already. He has that hive. You can see he's a little bit ahead of the tech as Druids just getting that hive. Going into these upgrades, TLO has started the +3 attack, not getting the +3 armor, and not getting adrenal glands, but he doesn't really use lings that in like late game ZVZ, so the no adrenal glands is reasonable. TLO is going to be denying this 1 hatch over here. Since TLO has both these bases up, it is very good, but we do have 3 infestors on the way behind this base of TLO, and it looks like he may be able to take it out. TLO is not in position to defend that if those infestors spawn a bunch of infested terrans, but TLO is going to be taking out a few infestors. I think 3 did go down, and now those roaches are going to be getting away. These 3 infestors still just chilling out right here, and now those roaches do end up going down. Nice burrowing on Druids to keep those infestors alive. And I'm waiting for it. We do have a bunch of infested terrans down here at the 5th base or 6th base, and also at this 1 base. So one of these bases is going to be going down. Druids is targeting down. I don't know if he's doing any targeting. This hatch is actually going to be living. TLO going to be even transfusing it to ensure it does live. And these infestors are going to be taking out the queen, but not really shooting those infested terrans in the best spot possible. I think if he shot both waves of those, like, in the mineral line and then force targeted the hatches, both of those hatches may have been able to go down, which would have been extremely huge. Just taking out this hatch would be huge because it would take out 2 gases from TLO. Looks like Druids is going to be moving across the map. TLO has a handful of roaches. Going to try to take out this 1 base. Finish the job because he had a few roaches harass this earlier in the game. Those handful of roaches do take that out, and now TLO is going to be burrowing a few, but Druids does see that. Getting an Overseer right now so he can take out those roaches. And TLO just going to be losing these for free. Druid's going to be staying at 200 supply. But he does take out this base, and every time you snipe a hatch, that is about like between 300 and 400 gas that you're denying your opponent from mining, because it just takes so long to get that hatch back up in the time you did. I think that's around 300 gas, and if you don't take the hatch immediately, that goes up to 400 gas. And nice fungal growth from TLO on those infestors. Now we do have Druids moving on out. Gets all of his units fungal growth. You can see TLO mainly just has a Hydras, and those Hydras don't go down as quick, and with all the fungal growth from the roaches moving forward, the Hydra's DPS is just so much, and maybe able to defend this roach infestor with pretty much just infestor Hydra, which is very odd. And now the Hydras are going to be taking out the Overseers, infestors, and moving on out. And now I can see why TLO is getting this creep spread, because he is going with Hydras in ZVZ instead of Roaches, which is very, very odd. But the Hydras will be very mobile, and TLO does get a few Roaches just for a meat shield. But mainly, he is focusing on Hydras. Druid's getting a lot of Spine Claws at this one hatch because TLO has been harassing him relentlessly, taking out this base, or at least forcing the cancels on those bases. This one he actually killed off. And you can see Druids, he is, like, low on gas, and that's because TLO, he has prevented Druids from going on as much gas as Druids actually wants by doing all this harassment, which means Druids has a lot of minerals and not that much gas. So very nice play by TLO. Now getting a few Roaches, going to be fighting all these Spine Claws, realizing that's not the best thing. And miss Micro right there, but at the same time, Infestors and Hydras do force the cancel on this base yet again. And again, Druids just cannot get the gas up that he needs to. This one Roach is going to take out the Spine Claw and now going to go head-to-head against the Queen. Will not be winning that fight. We do have Druids getting a Greater Spire right now as TLO is morphing his first Broodlord. And looks like Druids wants to be moving across the map. TLO cancels this phase yet again with more infested Terrans. I don't even know where that Infestor is. But TLO has this one Overseer, so he knows whenever a drone does come, and they can put a Infestor in line to start taking that out. Few Broodlords are out and going to be forcing Druids to be pulling back. And since TLO went for this Hydra mix instead of the Roaches, if Druids ends up getting Broodlords, TLO will easily be able to deal with them. And TLO just canceling this base so much, has the one Overseer here, may just be putting a Changeling to block it. I don't know what he's doing by moving that Overseer. Roaches are going to be coming. And there is something. The Roaches are on attack move command actually. And we'll see exactly what they end up hitting. We do have a drone just mining minerals right here. Will TLO block that base if it goes up again? It looks like Druids has kind of just given up on that and now comes in, sees all the Spine Claws from TLO, and he's like, yup, nope, don't want any of that. And now Druids looks like he wants to move out. It has a few Infestors, a lot of Roaches and Hydras going over this unit count. You can look at this. TLO spreading his Spine Crawlers with his creep. Very nice play. And here we go. A big engagement going down. There's Broodlords sieging up, Transfuse going down on them to keep them alive. Fungal Growth going off on these Roaches. The Infestors sitting in the back. The Broodlords now forced to pull back. But the Transfuses kept them alive a lot longer than they should have been. But the Corruptor advantage just goes to Druids, and a lot of the Broodlords are now in trouble. TLO, can he win this battle? Those Hydras are now going up against those Roaches, which is not good. TLO is going to be forced to back off. Druid's now going to be splitting up all of his Corruptors. At the same time, he is going to be taking his 5th base yet again, and now TLO going to be losing those 2 Broodlords. We do have the Roaches now coming in to snipe this one hatch off, and again, this does strap TLO a lot of gas. You lose around, again, the 400 gas by losing the hatch. TLO immediately going to be taking that, so maybe that's closer to 300 instead of the 400, but still not good at all. TLO does end up getting this gas, has 2 Infestors sitting back here just for defense, sees this base up. Will TLO go and force that cancel? He is sending those Roaches in, so it looks like this one hatch will be canceled yet again, and it's going down. Druids, it's like, God, done it, stupid Overseer. Because, well, that Overseer is telling TLO whenever that base does go up. And it looks like that Corrupted Chain is going to finally take it out, but the Overseer may just be, no, it is not fast enough. Does explode. And TLO is sitting back at 200 supply going into the production. He is finishing it off with Hydras and Infestor. Going back into the units, we see TLO only has 6 Corruptors, while Druids has 16 Corruptors, so that bodes pretty bad for TLO. Also, Druids, he has, looks like 12 less drones, so his army supply is going to be bigger at maxed out armies. TLO doesn't really have that many Hydras. Oh no, he has 16, so that's quite a few. 22 Roaches. Where are the Broodlords out? He doesn't have any of those. Druids is morphing them, so TLO, though, going to be getting a Nidus network. And we have seen TLO use some great Nidus play throughout the replay pack from TeamLiquidPro.com. Big shout-outs to them for at least uploading replays of their players every single week, and then not even only uploading the games, also letting people know and spamming on their Twitter when their games do get casted. Team Liquid is like the Riot Gaming. They're just so good with publicity. Blizzard, not so much. A lot of Broodlords are out, but this Nidus network is going to be... Oh no, that is just an Overseer. Over here, we have a Ling run by, going to try to take out as many drones as he can. But taking out drones when your opponent is maxed out may not be the smartest of all ideas. These Corruptors do snipe one Broodlord before anything comes. Huge phone goes coming off from TLO. And Infested Terrans are going down to try to take out all these Corruptors. TLO does have the Hydra count, so if he wants to, he could kill the Corruptors, but the Roach count is just too high from Druids. Where are TLO's Roaches? I do not know, and those Hydras just get decimated. TLO, he still has 18 Roaches out on the field, and they are just sitting back here. Nidus Worm is going off somewhere. It looks like, there we go, going up into the main. And those Broodlings just screwing with the AI of those Roaches and Hydras, allowing Druids to retreat out of that battle. The Nidus network does come out, and now a bunch of Roaches going to be coming out. Going to try to find that Greatest Fire and take it on down. Cannot find it, so he is going to be settling for this Infestation and the Roach one. If he gets both of those, that will be relatively big. But Druids is actually supply capped, so I don't know how big that is going to be. Another Spire is being built. And all the Roaches do get taken out, and a few do make their way back into the next act. Well, actually, all of them do. Roaches escaping. Druids missing a fungal growth. Had it there, but just missed it, allowing the Roaches to go back on home. And this creep spread this game is just absolutely ridiculous. Almost 100% of the map has been covered. TLO going to be doing a little bit of poking all the way over here since he just put his his opponent all the way up back here. So he's like, okay, I can do some damage here. Just going to try to snipe this Extractor, lower his opponent's gas, which is huge because you see his opponent stacking 4K minerals and just is gas starved. TLO preventing this base for so long, even has a Ling and Roach right here waiting on if this base does get taken. And just stripping his opponent of gas. This whole game, TLO has been mining 2 more gases than his opponent. So going into this, let's go see what the army actually cost. Druids, actually, his army cost a little bit more. He did just lose a handful of workers. Going into this worker kill count, TLO has killed 26. The drones is 58 to 75. TLO has a lot more drones. So Druid's army is going to be a lot scarier. About 20 supply more goes into his army than TLO. TLO going to be sacrificing a few Lings. He doesn't care that much about them. Maybe he was just trying to cancel this one base yet again. Sees his opponent is all the way over there. And this is what TLO is known for, his double-pronged attack, or just being everywhere at once, a.k.a. being a Zerg. He does this better than almost any other Zerg. Just is everywhere at once. He can lose this force and instantly replace it. Not a huge loss to him. Actually, maybe beneficial to get more Broodlords or Corruptors out on the field. And Druids gonna be letting his drones go down. He's like, TLO, you think I'm making a mistake? No. I actually want you to take out all my drones. I'm going to be all-inning you very soon because I know your econ is just too good for me to compete with. So he is going to be letting his drones die and then killing off these Roaches. And that does allow him to get even bigger army. He's at 35 drones. Actually, he is producing 11 drones, so I may have been wrong there. Doesn't really need that many more drones because this base is almost depleted, so he's going to be mining at one base anyways with 46 drones. TLO going to be coming in here trying to take out even more stuff. Targets down that weak Spore Coil, and TLO finally going to be taking this base that hasn't really even been mined. Some of those mineral patches are actually untouched. Mint condition, never removed from box. TLO going to be taking that base. Very happy about that. And now his Ling's going to be doing a little bit of harassment right here. Going to be taking out this Spire that is for upgrades. And that +1 attack will be just finishing. Possibly, yeah. It finishes just in time. More Lings coming out. Druid's going to be burning his drone. TLO is just absolutely everywhere. Druid's probably regretting building those extra drones right about now. Should say, I probably should have just had that in army and just tried to steamroll TLO because he is just being everywhere. The thatch goes down. That will be huge. And will it? Yes, it does. TLO does manage to snipe that one hatch. We do have Druids expanding over here, but TLO, he's setting his drones out for battle. I don't know what these drones are thinking. Silly drones, you're not lings. More lings do come, and now the drone's going to come and take out this one base. TLO, realizing he doesn't need as many drones, he is doing the Terran thing and sending his workers on the offensive. His so many spine crawlers back here for defense. Nice bone growth off on all these roaches. Druid's going to keep his roaches. No, he wants to keep the roaches in the back. Let these broodlords do damage. Corruptor's now going to be engaging. TLO does take it that one base, and big engagement right now. I have so much going on. TLO doesn't have the Corruptor lead, but he does have Transfuse. I'm not sure if he's actually using it. He has used it most of this game, but doesn't look like he's using it now. So much going on right now in this battle. TLO, is he going to come out ahead? This could be one of the longest battles I have ever seen. The Corruptors finally take air control for Druids, and now Druids going to be coming in to take out TLO's units. He has complete air control. TLO has a few infestors. They don't have any energy, but at the same time, the drones and lings going on the offensive, going to be taking out another base that is going to kill all the larvae of Druids, and he won't be able to reproduce, even though he doesn't have any gas to reproduce. Transfuse going down for both players, I believe, and maybe that's just TLO on all his corruptors. Keeping those alive, yes, TLO transfusing his corruptors. Roaches coming in, but there's so many spine crawlers to go through. Few infestitarians do come out. Anything really low on life, that Broodlord does go out to something. And I think TLO is going to be able to hold here, which means he will win the game. 88 supply to 160. There goes the GG by Druids. And you see the offensive drones and lings still working at it. And let's just watch this battle again in slow-mo. I don't know if that was just me being a caster and not being able to focus on the battle because I was talking, or just so much was going on in that battle. So we'll go at faster ×8, really fast, get to the battle. Should come really soon. I think it was around 35:30. Base is coming up. Here we go. It's about to begin. So, with all these Broodlords, I really hate doing HP buzz, so hold on 1 second. I don't want to get any Broodlings HPs, and the Roaches, they don't matter so much, so we'll get everything that matters. So there we go, HP buzz, not on Broodlings, not on Roaches. I don't think they really matter. The Hydras do matter because they can kill the Corruptors. Corruptors matter because that gives you the anti-air count, and yeah. Big fungal growth, and look at this fungal actually. Before the battle begins, that is a lot of units. I don't want to highlight because I just did that highlighting. But you know what? Screw it. We'll highlight this anyways. Look at this fungal. Ouch! So many units. Like 36 units, I think, got hit in that fungal. Holy crap, TLO. If you could keep that fungal up, this game would go in your favor. That would possibly go down as the best fungal growth I have ever seen. Or fungal chain, but I don't think he keeps that up. No, he does not. That infestor, looks like his AI kind of goofed on him and he couldn't get the chain fungal off. And thankfully for Druids, that did not happen, because that would be game over right there. Every Roach and every Corruptor just going down before the battle. So, right now, we can see Druids. That is fungal growth. Doing a great job at fungal growthing a lot of TLO's Corruptors. TLO, is he using the Transfuse? Is anyone using Transfuse? Okay, we got some Transfuse going down by TLO. But not all that much. Let's go quickly to these Corruptors. Okay, TLO is doing a decent job at using that. Corruption, not Transfuse. Corruption. Going to Druids. You can see a lot of his stuff. Not really using it. And now going in this pause, you can see all this smoke right here. Everything is taking extra damage, so pretty cool. TLO doing a better job using corruption. Okay. Infestitans do come down. Then the roaches that were in the back come by to defend against those Infestitans. See those Hydras were targeted on the Broodlords, trying to take that one out in the deep red. And all these Corruptors clumped up right here. TLO there doesn't have any fungal growths, it looks like. And the battle goes in Druid's favor, but because TLO, he can reproduce, the game goes into his favor. There's Corruptors now taking a hit by fungal growth. TLO though does have a lot of static defense to slow down the units, allowing him to reproduce. Corruptors do come in, and we got more Corruptors than Broodlords. And there we go, transfusing by TLO, keeping that one Corruptor alive so long. And now keeping this Corruptor alive. So let's go back real quick and just look at TLO's Corruptors and that transfuse. So only highlight these Corruptors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So many transfuses going down on TLO's Corruptors, just keeping those alive for so long. Very nice, and these Infestors going to be running away, going to shoot off a few Infestitans as they're about to die. Overseer is here by Druid so he can see in this. This is like Game of Thrones battle. We could like slow it down, go like this. If the Game of Thrones music was playing, that would be cool, but TLO does take that. So much blood out on the field, and there goes the GG. But that battle is... I don't know, it's like one of those things that is very micro-intensive that you never really expect to happen. But yeah. Not that you never expect to happen. I mean, it's just showing you all the micro that can go into one of those big 200 versus 200 armies. There's so much you can possibly do. The possibilities are literally endless. Like, the force targeting you can do, transfusing, positioning, fungal growth. That's like as much as you possibly can handle. And we'll go into this game. So going to this 10-minute mark, we can see TLO, his average inject gap is 11, while Druid's, holy crap, dude, 5.6. That is a good Zerg inject early game. Druid's, we gotta go and look at his hotkeys. I bet you that he has his hatches individually hotkeyed. There's no way he's like TLO and hotkeys things by bulk. But we'll go back into this game because this is something that you just take a step back and you have to see how someone can be that good and not be well known. Just focusing on things. Does keep his queens individually hotkeyed. So whenever he's near 25 energy, that's when he's like, okay, I gotta do something. I gotta keep my queens below 25 energy. And this is a little bit harder than seeing a creep inject bird, because if you miss one inject, then looking at the energy just completely goes wrong. So if you're going to be doing this method like Druids, you better have perfect injects early game, because the more your injects get behind, the less that you can watch the energy. And if you have the hotkeys, hatches individually hotkeyed, doesn't matter if you're behind, you always have that one bar telling you. But Druids, very nice job on that injecting. And I kind of just gotta give it to TLO's opener. Well, if he didn't kill that Overlord, he'd probably be behind in supply, but because he did, and chances are you're gonna kill that Overlord being so aggressive with that first queen, that he can stay ahead of his opponent in supply at the 10-minute mark, despite his inject being about double the gap that his opponent's was. Pretty cool. Pretty darn cool if you ask me. Not really sure what to go. APM tab if you want to see. EAPM 118 for TLO. Druids at 96. But the main thing I just want to see is how many transfuses TLO had this game, and how many corruptions were used. So we know that last battle came off at, let's see, when did it come? About 35 minutes, I think we can agree on. So we'll go to 34:30. And let's just go here in the game. So, let's see. Go back in the game, show you when the battle starts, because we're going to be watching Battle Micro. As crazy as it sounds, we're going to try to watch all the battling go down. We just got to find out when this battle begins. And we know it ends when the game ends. So 35:10. We're going to say this is when the battle begins. So 35:10. What do we want to look at? Well, we want to look at, firstly, what's good in battles. Attack moves, 136. Actually, Excel would be much better for this, but it would be much harder to get on my monitor. So, attack move 136 versus 173. Then we have fungals, which is going to be 33 to 43. Then let's see. Infesitans I don't really care that much about. Corruption. We have 19 to 0, actually. And TLO is blue. I'm just making sure. Yeah, no corruptions used by TLO yet this game. And transfuse 1 to 16. So we have that. I'm going to watch this battle. Let's go play. You can see the numbers just slightly changing. In case I need that later. Let's go to the end game. But you can watch the battle. If you go in slowly, you can kind of see what people are doing. You don't have to watch this. You can just watch the numbers change. But let's go. Notepad. Okay. So now what do we have? We have attack moves 162, 207. Fungals 42 to 54. Corruptions 30. 14. And transfuse stays at 1 to 27. Okay, the difference here will be is that 36? God, I hate doing math. I haven't done math in forever. Let's just do this in calculators. 162 minus 26. Duh. After casting the game, I am brain dead, as you can tell, and the next one will be 207, 73, 34. So TLO has more attack moves, The fungal growth differential will be 9, I believe that is, and 11. TLO did more fungals. Corruptions, we have 11 and 14. And transfuses, 0 and 11. So, looking at this, we can see TLO, his battle micro, was actually probably superior. Had more attack moves, had more fungals, had more corruptions, had more transfuses. Pretty cool if you start looking at the game that way. And then you can also count Infestitans and all that stuff, but I didn't really care too much about that. Those are the 4 things that I really did care about. If I made a mistake in that math, I'm going to be embarrassed, but oh well. A lot of casters fail at math when doing streams. It's just how the nature works, I guess. But, yeah, let's actually look at one more thing. Druids had such good inject in that game, I really want to go back and look at the end game. 60.1, 79. TLO was relentless with his harassment. 25.5, 34. And you lose queens a lot faster than you lose hatches. So that's one argument to hotkey your hatches individually, because nothing's really going to change. You lose a queen, you can be screwed and just not realize it, not having one hotkeyed. You're not really going to lose a hatch and not realize it, type deal. So, yeah. We'll take that, I guess. I don't know. Just something I thought of while I was doing it. As I said it, got stupider and stupider. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the cast. Take care, and I will see you tomorrow.